It would seem that video game journalist from California managed to get the quartering all the way up to 1 million subscribers. Quite an accomplishing feat, I would have to say, especially since I know a lot of people who don't particularly appreciate the quartering's videos because according to them they go on for too long, they starts to rant a lot, and he has been wrong on a couple of occasions, not fact-checking properly. But the same people decided to subscribe to him just out of spite, just to piss off these entitled and very rich people, as we're going to see. So the quartering managed to offend the work of a video game journalist, and just like taxi drivers showing solidarity, they ganged up on him. Their ways of attacking the channel is very interesting. On one hand, they say that the quartering is sending harassment their way, something that they have not proven. And in the other way, they send harassment at the quartering. It's a very interesting tactic where you're claiming that you're being harassed, but at the same time asking people to harass on your behalf. This is video game journalism 101. I have seen video game journalists actually trying to get people fired because they have disagreed on a particular take with a video game. So yes, they are very spiteful individuals, some of them. But they're also very rich. You see, there is this naivete going on that these people are doing quite poorly into the video gaming scene, and if we look at some of their tweets, might not be the case. You see, Patrick Klepek said that he had a lot of media jobs, but this is his guest, and because of unionizing, he is now getting $100,000 a year. That's a lot of money, right? And then you go on and you see Jason Schreier saying that there's a widespread belief that game journalists don't get paid much. If you work for a game site and want to get paid what you're worth, unionize. Kotaku's salary minimum for full-time writers is $50,000. Jesus fucking Christ. I'll share my rates working in publishing journalism. 34,000 staff writer at Dot Esports, 48,000, and then it goes all the way to 82,000 at Polygon. Very interesting how these businesses are failing. And instead of cutting costs, because I guess they're being threatened by their employees, they pay them so much money. These people probably don't care that these publications go belly up eventually because they just move to the next publication. They're like locusts. But why do I care that they're making so much money? After all, I'm a capitalist, so, you know, if they manage to get so much, that's fine. Well, one of the main reasons is the fact that they're socialists. Like, almost all of them. They don't like the free market, but at the same time, they benefit from the free market. And secondly, the reason that I don't like them is that they're destroying the businesses that they're working at. You see, if you know one of these people on Twitter, you will know how arrogant and how much sass and disdain they have for their readers. If you disagree with them, they're going to block you. In fact, they even have block lists that they spread around each other. But now it's something that annoys me even further. You see, not only do they have so much money, but they're also very entitled. They want free shit, basically. You know, they want free stuff to review. So if possible, give them the game like 1 or 2 months in advance. Not to strain the game journalist way too much. Because here you have tweets saying that ask any of the few journalists playing Cyberpunk, and notice the spite they have for the product, right? They can't even spell it properly, about their physical and mental state as they try to meet the embargo. They'll tell you that they're dead. That's not even mentioning the fact that they're technically the lucky ones. So many will be crunching all of December. So, and this is like the reason that they all of a sudden hate Cyberpunk, is that the company had the audacity to give them the game just a couple of weeks before release. And now they have to crunch. You know, can you imagine someone getting $100,000 a year, having to spend extra time playing video games? I mean, I just, you know, like, a person that used to be in a hospital as a doctor just cannot imagine the horror and the hardship that these people must be going towards. You know, like, it's so difficult just sitting at home and playing video games for your job, doing the thing that you love. I just like, oh my god, that's horrible. You know, instead of like talking about important stuff, like how they achieve greatness on a Sonic the Hedgehog theme bed. If only beds could talk. Or my favorite, the 14 Pokemon I'd like to fuck by VG247. Yes, quality game journalism. This is what they like to do. Playing video games, ugh. Oh, like, well, who wants to do that? You know, video games are for geeks and nerds, like the people they used to bully at school. They're more enlightened than that. They have to write the actual articles. So it goes without saying that the quartering looks like a couple of these reviews that are coming up about CD Projekt Red. And one of them omits talking about the important stuff, which is crafting and customization and, you know, like the things that make an RPG an RPG. And they didn't put that in the review. And this is why they're livid now. You know, because it's like insulting their work. It's almost like they're now in the shoes of someone that knows how to code, like having an overseer looming over them and telling them that they haven't done a good job. They're not used to that. They're not used to quality control. And if the quality control doesn't come from the company, how dare you allow quality control to come from a YouTuber? And it's because the quartering actually had some good points that they're all now pissed off. Because, like, imagine living in a world where someone would actually quality control these journalists. It doesn't work that way. No, the journalist quality controls you. Which is what they're now trying to do by trying to get the quartering the platform. You know, by brigading them. Like, almost the entire GameSpot staff is out to try to get the quartering the platform. Now, I don't know if they're going to succeed because the guy literally has never encouraged dogpiling or harassment. At least I haven't seen it. And if he did, then they would have some evidence of it. But they're not. You know, they're just claiming it's like, oh, the people harassing me are the Quartering's fans. Completely ignoring the fact that it's their behavior and their attitude that it's attracting trolls to them like flies on a European flag. But, you know, it is what it is. So, I'm going to follow this with interest, but so far, it seems that the Quartering has had a lot to profit from it. A lot of people are subscribing to him just to piss off the journalists, and he has managed to reach 1 million subscribers. I think the main reason here that they don't like is that CD Projekt Red didn't give them copies, because what this means is that they're losing now clicks. You see, they want to be the first that get to put something up. If everyone gets to release content at the same time, then why would people just read Kotaku when they can watch a YouTuber? YouTubers are far more interesting to watch because, number one, you can actually engage with them. They do read their comment sections. They do interact with you. And they're less arrogant and less full of themselves. It's like, honestly, these game journalists are acting like they're some sort of anointed aristocrats. Like they're the better among us. That, you know, what they say is the rule of law or something. And then they constantly moralize you more than a priest at a Catholic church. Whenever I go to Polygon, I learn more about how to behave and how to act in the world than I get from talking to my mother. You know, like, honestly, my mother-in-law is less concerned about how I treat women than Polygon is. It's just, like, bizarre. It's very bewildering. It's like, why do I get to these websites to moralize me? With what right? And the recent moral arguments that I hear from these people is that if you like Ghost of Tsushima more than you like The Last of Us 2, then you're homophobic. Because you see, The Last of Us 2 is this perfect game that everyone just agrees with unilaterally. And the only possible reason that someone would say another game is better than The Last of Us 2 is because they're lying. And not only they're lying, the only reason that they're lying is because they're homophobic. I mean, come the fuck on, like, these people, they're something else. You know, and I kind of get to see when you're at this level of arrogance, when you're at this level of entitlement, and you're paid so much that you're flaunting your wage. Like, on one hand, you're complaining that you're not getting paid enough, and then when people get to see you make $100,000 a year for playing video games of all things, then yeah, I can see why people might be a little bit jealous. You know, and they're jealous of their profession. Like, everyone wants to be a video game journalist. Ask any teenager. And then they're complaining that their job is too difficult. Give it to someone else if it's too difficult. Step down. Do something easier. Like carrying bricks for a living. You know, building something. Being the working class. And then, you know, like, when you do the easy thing, then someone else can do the more difficult things. Like playing video games. And complaining about it. And trying to get YouTubers the platform. Yeah, congratulations, Quartering, you deserve it. He puts a lot of effort into his things, you know, like one guy making 4 or 5 videos a day. That's a lot of thought. That's a lot of effort. You know, I wonder if a game journalist puts that much effort into his work. My God. How do they survive though? Like, you know what? Like, I think if the COVID relief bill gets passed, the game journalists should be the first ones to get it, because like their contribution to humanity and society is not only pivotal but should also be acknowledged. Let me know what you think. I'll see you guys in the comment sections. Take care.